kids or doing
Yeah, I won't be
I don't
home all
want to
day.
stay home.
Why would you not?
My own passions. I want to serve the community as a whole. I want to serve the community as a whole. So again, that goes back to being able to make sure that my cup is filled and making sure parents and my children and still have enough to go out in the community and do work as well. Because women are doing the most in our communities, especially. Do you disagree? So
yes.
Who are the men? Who are the black men or the men leaders in our community? Please let me know who is out there. Name drop them, because I got a whole list of women, and I would like to reach out to these men and connect, because we need to organize and figure out a way what we can do about our youth and the youth violence and the things happening in our community. Name some black leaders in our community who's really pushing and organizing and making shit happen, like the women in Louisville, Kentucky are.
What women in Louisville, Kentucky doing what?
Building the community.
Hold on.
Nonprofits, building the communities, you know.
So I would say organizing. I believe organizing the community isn't helping at all. Just by getting everyone riled up and together with no common means to an end or no solutions that are going to be provided isn't helping. Also, a huge component that's being missed in a lot of these organizations or a lot of these clusters of people is that there is no financial movement of funds, right? Because all of the I should say a high majority of the problems that we face as a culture and as a community is the movement of funds and economics, right? We can collectively be poor as shit and just be all on the same page, and it won't get us nowhere and won't change nothing, right? We have to have a economic movement in our communities that will make a difference. And unfortunately, women are not contributing in that area.
How are you saying? Because
I ain't got no money.
Women don't make the most money.
I know that,
especially women of color.
I know that you've heard of Buy Black Lou, right? That was created by a woman who was organizing Black economics so that we can have a hub of resources. There's grocery stores. There's all types of things that women are doing that does have a direct impact on our youth and our community. And
I'm not disputing that work isn't being done, right? However, work is constantly being done all the time, right?
Movement, because we really need to keep the money within our own communities, right?
We we make enough money. The problem, the amount of money we make and the amount of money we spend isn't the problem, right? Like we're the best in that, right? The African community, African people or people of African descent in America,
spend the most money.
American Africans spend the most money. They're the top 10 richest nation in regards to spending. So we have the money and we spend it, right? We don't put nothing into the community, right? If you look at our top 10% of people, right, that what we call our leaders, based on economic standpoints, aren't contributing that their same 10% that got them in the position that they're in back into the community. And that is becoming the problem, is because all these stuff that is started doesn't have a financial backing to push it forward. Right? You can't make legislative issues without having an economic standpoint or economic push into it. So legislation and bill passing has no type of power unless you have an economic venture pushing it forward to the forefront, right? You can't get handouts when it comes to legislation just because it's the right moral things to do. Right?
Power, you said we have the money. That's not the issue. So it's just about us.
Again, it's the economic push isn't being pushed forward though. So we spend the money, but we're buying Bentleys and hair and weaves and extensions and gold and jewelries and diamonds and stuff like that, which has no value and does nothing for the community as a whole.
And fake butt and fake boobs.
Oh, bodies, of course, yeah. So all this stuff that women are doing, and I'm not disputing that work isn't being done, and it's always going to be done primarily by the women because they're not putting the work in regards from an economic standpoint. They're not having to provide for the families and provide the economics that the African man has to.
I just have too many powerful women in my personal network who are
Too
really
many.
out here making big strides in the community. So I just have to disagree.
Well, again, and I'm not disputing that. We all can name powerful women,
and they're remaining great moms through and through. Even though they're showing up day in and day out, giving themselves to they're still great mothers and pouring into that all at the same time.
Okay, so for every one of those women, you can name 2 women that aren't even doing shit compared to them, right? If not, maybe 3. For every, and I'm talking about good, strong, decent African women. For every one that you can find 3 more that ain't doing a fucking thing, right? And that's the issue: is that it's not about the minority; it's about the majority, right? We can't base all of our decisions on what the small, minute, number of people are doing compared to what the majority is doing, and that's what's going to hold us down. Right, the whole crab in the bucket idea is if one tries to rise, there's 5 more pulling them down, and no one can ever get out the damn bucket.